Hello again, everyone. I am here with sort of a messy at this point unboxing from Jackson's Art Supply. These are all water-soluble media of one type or another. So I am going to unbox these and then I am going to swatch them. I have learned my lesson. If I don't swatch things when I show them, I hear about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these, which means that this video will be a little bit longer than your average unboxing because I am going to do the swatching. So I'm just gonna dig in here and get all the things out of the boxes, and then I'll arrange them in a way that makes sense to go ahead and do the swatches. So this is a tiny little tube of Schmincke watercolor. This is the gold brown color. That is a color that I've had on my list for a little while. I only got a small tube because I didn't know how much I would use it. So I'm just going to put the boxes off to the side here. These are all the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2. So I got a variety of colors. I was trying to supplement the Neocolor 2s that I have with some more interesting colors that I don't necessarily have. I inherited a set from someone else that had sort of the standard colors in it, so I was trying to supplement with some more interesting colors that I'd like to use more often. I'm pretty sure these are all Neocolor 2. Yeah, so the Neocolor 2 is the water-soluble wax crayon by Caran d'Ache, and then there's also a Neocolor 1, which is not water-soluble, but is also great. Okay, so I got a variety. I think these might not all be Faber-Castell, but they put them in the box for that. These are all water-soluble pencils of one type or another. So here I have, this is the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer water-soluble pencil. This one is light cobalt turquoise. And then let's see, so those are actually a different kind. Okay, so that's the only Albrecht Dürer that's in here. And I don't really know too much about what the differences are between the different pencils, so I'm hoping when I swatch them that will sort of give us an indication of sort of the different qualities of the different ones. Oh, and that's interesting. So these are both the same, Super Color 2 Soft water-soluble pencils, and it looks like they have a little bit of a different label. Yeah, so this one is Granite Rose. This one is Mouse Gray. So these are all Super Color 2, the next ones. Jade Green, Green Ochre, and Malachite Light Green. So I'm going to try and keep the different types. I got a lot of these. This was actually a pretty inexpensive order, even though I had a lot of different items. Each of these individual pencils are pretty inexpensive, so I basically was trying to get the different ones that I wanted to try. So this is, okay, so this is yet another kind of Caran d'Ache. Oh, I'm sorry, these are Caran d'Ache. All of these are Caran d'Ache. This is Faber-Castell. So let's put those there. But this is also a Caran d'Ache, but it's a Technolo RGB. I'm not quite sure. This is in Prussian Blue. So I think this might be sort of a tinted charcoal, but again, I can't remember. So I'll keep all these ones separate. So this is a Derwent Graphitint pencil in Sage. I'm going to put that over here because those are a different brand. Another Graphitint in Shadow. Graphitint in Chestnut. So I think those three are colored charcoal. And then here I have, okay, so this is another Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer, and this is Olive Green Yellowish. And this is another Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer in Coral. So it looks like they just kind of threw them all in here into different boxes. So I'm actually really surprised that none of them got broken. It's nice that they put them in these little boxes when they ship them. Okay, so this is another Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer in green gold. And So this is another kind of Caran d'Ache. So right now I have two different kinds of Caran d'Ache pencils. This is yet a third, and this is Museum Aquarelle, and this is Sepia 50%. This is the same as that one. This is Chestnut. This one is Brown Olive. This one is Terracotta, and I'll tell you again when I swatch them. And this one is Saffron. And all of these obviously are going to have a little bit of a different quality, and they're all going to be different prices too if you're looking for those. I'm going to put a link to each of the different kind of pencil here. I'm not necessarily going to put a link to the individual color, but you'll have this video as a reference as to what colors they are. So, and then this one is a Caran d'Ache Super Color 2, like these, and it is in Sepia. So let's see. Do they all say soft? Yeah, they all say soft on them. That's interesting. They just have different labeling, so they may just have changed their labeling. So I am going to, okay, I'm going to save the Faber-Castell ones for last. And then I'm going to start with the different Caran d'Ache brand ones. And I'm going to put these in the middle. And then I'm going to do these in this order. So I will go ahead and do the swatches first. And if you think these are a little small, I am going to show them to you at the end, closer up. So you don't need to worry about that. I'm just putting it this way so you can see all of the pencils at once. And I'll probably go, depending on how much room I have, I will probably go to another page, but let's see. So I'll go ahead and, so this is, actually, why don't I label all of the Caran d'Ache at the top here. Let me get another little marker. So this is Caran d'Ache, and this is a Technolo RGB, and this is what color? This is Prussian Blue. Oops. Prussian Blue. Okay. And then I'm going to do, so I'm going to say that this one is the Museum Aquarelle. So that's what all of these are going to be. That's lovely. I'm actually going to cover up that C I did so we can get a little bit of a bigger swatch. So this one is Saffron. Okay, this one is Terracotta. And I'm going to be activating these with water once I am done swatching just the pencils. Okay. So this one is Brown Olive 50%. Okay. This one is Chestnut. These are very soft and nice. And I am using watercolor paper. This is Pentalic watercolor paper. I find that this works really well for a non-cotton paper, which is why I use it quite a bit for swatches, because cotton paper tends to be a little more expensive, and this is not as precious for samples. Okay, so we're moving on to a different one. So these are the Super Color Super Color 2 Soft. So I'm just gonna, so that we all know these are all Caran d'Ache. Okay, and this one is Sepia. This one is Malachite Light Green. Oh, that's lovely. I'm at an angle here, so my writing is kind of going off on an angle. This is Green Ochre. It's also a very beautiful color. All right, this is Jade Green. This one is Mouse Gray. All right, and this one is Granite Rose. And let's see if we can fit all of these Neo Color 2s down here. So these are Neo Color 2 crayons. So this one is Olive. This one is Sepia. Golden Yellow. Okay, Turquoise Green. And then this one is Jade. All right, so then these, okay, so we have the Derwent. So these are Graphitint. Oops. Okay. Sage, Shadow, and sometimes they get really, they change a lot when you put water on them. So I'm really kind of interested to see what happens. This is Chestnut. All right, and then we have these Faber-Castells. And they are the Albrecht Dürer. Okay. This one is Coral. And I didn't even really say the reason why I wanted to get these is to kind of supplement my watercolors, because I have been really going, or I've been really enjoying the multi or mixed media with watercolor. And adding these really does add something nice. So these all felt a little similar, except for the crayons, obviously. Olive, green, yellowish. And that was light cobalt turquoise just before this one. And then this one is green gold. So I try to go sort of in an earthy palette with these. But they all laid down really nice and creamy, I would say. So I'm going to actually push those back to the other side of the table there. And then I am going to get my water and my brush and a little paper towel to wipe off my brush if I need to. So let's go ahead and start with the Technalo. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So that's almost like a charcoal. And that's the Prussian Blue. The Museum Aquarelle. Oops, sorry, I have the watercolor. I have the water-soluble pen up above that's kind of interfering a little bit, but you should be able to see that fairly well. Saffron. I'm going to go this way, actually. Terracotta. Because I'm trying to leave a little bit of the unmelted pencil so you can see the difference. And then this is olive or brown olive 50%. And you'll notice there's probably going to be a different level of dissolving going on between all of these colors when you add the water to the pencil. Like some of them will dissolve all the way and some of them will leave still some of the pencil mark. Okay. So sepia 50%. Again, I probably should have used a non-water soluble pen and probably should have put these a little further away from each other. Let's see if I can be better. Sepia for the Super Color Too Soft. Okay, I can already tell I felt like the Museum Aquarelle blended a little bit better with the water, but these are still really beautiful. Okay, this is Malachite Light Green. You can definitely see the texture of the pencil beneath for both of these, really. And I pressed fairly hard when I put them down. So this is green ochre. And if you don't want to have the pencil lines, you can definitely, you could either just work right from the pencil, which I think I'll show you at the end, actually. Let me go ahead and go through these and then I will show you that. And then I'm going to do that last watercolor. So this is Jade Green, which actually ends up being pretty light. I think I'm seeing less of the pencil mark with these though, when I'm blending the water. This one is Mouse Gray. Granite Rose, which is very light when blended down. That would probably be a good skin tone. But it's kind of hard to see, and I'll put it up to the camera so you can see it once these are done. So these are the Neocolor 2 crayons. So this is the olive. This is the sepia. It seemed like kind of a gray sepia when I saw the sample, which seems to be the way it is. Okay, and this is golden yellow. Ooh, that's a beautiful yellow. Oops. Okay, sorry. I was depriving you of the yellow. There you go. Yellow. Turquoise green. It's a very beautiful color. This is jade. All very pretty. I would say, you know, these are probably all top grade colors here. I'm going to go up with the Graphitint. So this is the Sage. Okay. I would say this one probably has the most pencil marks being left. This is Shadow. And then this one is Chestnut. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's a very red brown. Okay, and then the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer. This is Coral. Again, a very light pink. Light Cobalt Turquoise. And you can really see how different it is when you add water as opposed to the color that you get with the pencil. And you can use them either way. This is Olive Green Yellowish, which is lovely. It's almost like a sap green. Okay, and then the last one is Green Gold. And that's very lovely. It's similar to the Green Ochre over here. So I would say these probably dissolved the most when I put water in them. These and the Super Color Too Soft. These were probably the most apparent, the pencil mark underneath for these two. Okay, so I'll show you what I was talking about. So let me pick sort of a darker color here in the mix. I'm gonna get, okay, what's this one? Sepia 50%. Actually, no, let me get the one before it, which should be Chestnut. Okay, yeah. So you could just brush your wet brush on the tip of the pencil, and then you're going to have color transfer, and you could use them just like watercolors that way, which is kind of nice. And then you won't get the pencil mark underneath with that. You can also I have a plastic palette that has a texture on it. I don't have it handy, actually. I have no idea where it is right now. But those palettes that have a texture, any palette that has a texture on it, you can rub the pencil into the texture and then add water to the palette, and again, use it kind of like watercolor that way, which is kind of nice, because then, again, you won't get the pencil lines underneath. So, okay, I'm going to do this one last watercolor. I'm just going to dab it on the page. Ooh. We ended up having a little bit extra, but that's okay. I'll probably leave some of that there and then use it later. So that is just, it's just a lovely color. I really love that. And let me label that too. That is the This is the Schminke Gold Brown. And so this, so I remember, is the same as this. Okay. All right, I will now put this up to the camera so you can see. You'll be able to see the texture a little bit better. I apologize for using a water-soluble pen, so you're getting a little bit of bleed from that pen in certain areas. But you can see, and it seems like, I wonder if I had had bigger swatches if you would have seen the pencil mark less on these, because that would allow me more room to sort of rub on the pencil markings themselves. Although here, you know, I had the same amount of room really, and you cannot see the pencil marks for these Albrecht Dürer pencils. I believe that these are the most expensive ones, and there's probably, you know, that's probably part of the reason for that, is that they dissolve really well. They're also really beautiful colors. I think I have some other Albrecht Dürer Faber-Castell pencils that I used in watercolor sketching when I traveled. I would usually bring the same color in the pencil as I had in watercolor or something similar, so that I could sketch with these pencils, and then once I put the watercolor in it, the sketch marks would kind of blend into the background. So, okay, so there's those up there. And then here, and the camera really is not doing this gold brown justice. It is, I think, further away, you're actually able to see a little bit more of the tone of that, but it's really a beautiful reddish brown. I love that. And since I put a little extra on here, I probably will go back to this dollop of paint and use that from the paper at some point. The Neo Color 2 crayons, they, I would say when they dry after getting the water on them, they have a little bit more of a hard line around the edge of the color. That is not the case for these. These up here are like graphite in texture, but then they have this color when you activate them. This one I also think is sort of a charcoaly pencil, because look, you can see it looks sort of like charcoal. This would probably be a good one to sketch with before a sketch, and then as long as you didn't mind this bluish color running into your watercolor, it would be a really nice accent to your watercolor sketch. Okay, so there you go. I am probably at some point going to do some more art with me videos where I do more mixed media with watercolor and that sort of thing. If at this point in time, I don't know if I've already posted that. I plan to post one soon. I've already filmed it, but depending on when I end up posting this particular video, I'm not sure if I've already posted or not. So if I did, I will put a link down below, and if not, stay tuned for that sometime soon. I will be doing at least one mixed media watercolor drawing or painting on the channel with you, and I do plan to do more of those in the future. It just depends on how much time I have and I was gonna say inspiration, but there's all kinds of inspiration out there. So but for today I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the swatches and seeing the different kinds of water-soluble pencils that are out there. I think that I pretty much got one of each of the different kinds of water-soluble pencil that Jackson's had. There might have been some others that just, you know, I didn't want to approach, but these are sort of the big names in water-soluble pencils. So there you go. All right. Feel free to subscribe to the channel so you can keep track of what's coming next. And thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.